What's up, ladies and gents? Today I wanted to talk about the Erika's original MN strap. These have been around for quite a while now and have been a favorite among watch enthusiasts for quite some time. And if you have not tried one of these yet, you really need to try one. It is just an amazing strap. They are pretty expensive. I've had both of these for a couple years now, but if I remember correctly, they both came in around $100 each. Depending on customization, there is a lot of customization available, which I'll get into here in just a couple minutes. But this, while it is a very expensive strap, it is probably the most comfortable strap that I've ever worn. It's just an incredibly made strap. They fit well. They've got unlimited customization, and fit adjustability is amazing. They are made in Spain by Erika and her crew, and it is made with a very high quality elastic nylon material. You can see there's a little bit of stretch there, so that is kind of the key to why it is so comfortable. You know, it's just got that little bit of stretchiness. You can fit it to your wrist, and you have a little bit of give for wrist swell, or if it's cold and your wrist shrinks a little bit. It just really does make for the perfect fit. So these are basically a modern version of the classic Marine Nationale strap that the French divers in the 60s and 70s made from elastic webbing from their parachutes. They were issued watch heads, from what I understand, and they basically just created their own watch straps. They made their own watch straps, and there's a lot of different versions out there today, but I believe that Erika has the best, most refined version of that classic Marine Nationale strap. Like I said, the material is very high quality. You know, you can see that it's just a super tight knit. It's got a little bit of give, not too much. A lot of the cheaper versions are way too stretchy. This one has just the right amount of stretch. These are both pretty well worn. I've worn both of them a lot, and they always seem to return back to their original form. You know, that's kind of the big difference in this material versus a cheaper material. A lot of that stuff stretches out and just sags. These, after 2 years of pretty hard use, they have always returned back to their original shape. And the hardware on these is really nice. You know, you basically have minimal hardware, which is nice too. You've got the slider, which is your adjustability for size, and you've got the hook, and you've got this other little kind of hook that basically actually I've got it backwards here. You run that through there, and then you hook it onto there. So as far as the hardware goes, they are all very nicely finished. There's a lot of options on hardware. There is 0 sharp edges on these. The only kind of, you know, I guess negative you could say with these is there is a little bit of a learning curve to putting them on that hook, which stays on very nicely, but it is a little bit difficult. When you first put it on, you'll get your slider set to where you want it, and then you just kind of got to push down a little bit and hook that in there. It's not hard to do once you've done it a few times, but it is a minor complaint from a lot of people. They don't like having to hook that on there, and it can be difficult from time to time, but they are really just a beautiful strap. Very high quality, well crafted strap. It is a single pass strap too, which I really like. It's a pretty thin material, very rigid but thin material. It's very strong. I've had these over the 2 years I've owned them. I've had them, you know, through a lot. I've had them out in the ocean repeatedly. I've had them at heavy weapons training. I've had them doing yard work. A lot of range time with these, and they're just very nice, rigid, tough tool watch straps. They are, you know, like I said, it's a thin material, but it's very strong. And the other really nice thing about this versus the cheaper version is not only the material. The material is probably the the main difference, but also this slider, I think on a lot of the cheaper versions, that slider just moves around once you put it on and it'll kind of loosen up as you go. But these, I think because of this material being a little bit stronger, you can see there's a little bit of, it's actually pretty good bit of resistance to move that slider. So once you get it where you want it, it tends to stay there. So you find your fit, hook that slider in, and it pretty much stays, versus the cheaper ones that just move around. That was my problem. I've had a couple of the cheaper ones and they just don't compare. But the this one, I believe, is the Mistral strap. They call it Mistral. And I've got the navy stripe down the middle with navy stitching as well. And this one I think this was a Black Ops strap with a gray stripe. The customization on these is really pretty awesome. There is endless possibilities for customization. You know, whichever strap you pick, you can pick that center line color, what color you want the stitching. You can pick what color you want this stitching. The hardware is all customizable. There is a lot of different colors and metals. I think she's got bronze. She'll PVD these stainless ones. There's brushed. I think there's like a patinaed stainless one as well. So you can really match them to your watch. Just customize them. I've got a buddy who's got the Chris Ward C60 300 bronze, and he did one of these in blue with bronze hardware, and it looks amazing. It's like the perfect strap for that watch. But there is you can see this one actually has the military issued numbers. You can customize this printing to pretty much anything you want. I believe you want to put your name on there. You can also she's got some options for little flags sewn in here. That's pretty cool. So they really are just an amazing strap. Like I said, it is probably the most comfortable strap I've ever worn. Putting it on might take you a minute or two to get it down, but you'll figure it out. It's not hard, and they just look great. They really are an incredible strap. One of my favorites. It's hard to say with straps. It's kind of like picking your favorite watch. These are definitely in my probably top 3 favorite straps, if not my favorite strap. And they are incredibly comfortable. So if you haven't tried one of these yet, guys, give them a try. Also, the other thing with the FXD version, you actually have a kind of a broken slider piece there that allows you to pop this out. Let me see if I can do this. And you'll pop that piece out and feed this through your fixed lugs. For the regular versions, you're basically going to have to pop your spring bars out, put it in, and then put your spring bars back in. So she's actually got this little booklet that kind of details how to put it in there. Man, what is this dog barking at? And anyway, just want to put that out there, guys. This one's been out for a while, but it is one of my favorite straps, guys. Definitely check it out if you have a chance and you want to spend a little bit of money. It's worth it, I promise. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.